Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to BTN, to the Basketball Time Machine, your favorite NBA old school show on YouTube. In today's segment of things you may not know, we're going to talk about the big fella, Shaquille O'Neal. So buckle up and let's go. Number 1, Shaq stole his nickname. Shaquille O'Neal has countless nicknames. The Diesel, the Big Aristotle, the Real Deal, Big Daddy, the Big Feller, as I said, countless. But the most common one has to be Shaq. But did you know that Shaquille actually took that name from a different player? Alright, Shaq, where's the explanation?
I visited North Carolina State, Illinois, and UNLV.
Was it close?
North Carolina State was cool. I really respected Jim Valvano. And as you know, because you're a sports fan, they had the original Shaq, Charles Shackelford.
Yeah.
And that's who I got my name and my identity from. So I was actually wanting to play behind him. But I said, you know what? I'm going to be my own Shaq, and I'm going to just take it down to Baton Rouge.
Wait, so you got your nickname from Charles Shackelford?
Yep.
The original Shaq?
Original Shaq. I took his knee pads. I took everything.
You had a little better career than Charles Shackelford.
Something like that.
Yeah.
From this day on, I would like to be known as Shaq. I'm Wilt Chamberlain, the Big Aristotle. He's the greatest of the universe. Write it down, take a picture, send it to him. I don't care. I know I have to get up in the morning, put my underwear on first, and then put my pants on first. I don't need people to tell me.
Number 2, Shaq was only the second best player on his college team. Nowadays, it sounds impossible, but back in the days when Shaq was playing for LSU, there was one guy who was even better than Shaq, Chris Jackson, aka Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. And this is no joke, even Shaq said that Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf was even better than him.
During the 1989-90 season, when Shaquille O'Neal, who was a freshman, and Chris Jackson, who was a sophomore, played together, you were guaranteed to see something you had never seen before. Because Chris Jackson did things on a basketball court that we had just never seen a guard do. Whether it was magnificent passing, great defense, ball handling, and then shots that defied your imagination. And then Shaquille, at his size and mobility, the things that he did were almost unprecedented. So between the two, you were guaranteed to walk away from there and say, wow, I just saw something I'd never seen before in a basketball game. The 1989-90 LSU basketball team, which was so highly touted going in with Shaquille O'Neal, Chris Jackson, Stanley Roberts, Vernell Singleton, Maurice Williamson, had such high expectations, got to the NCAA tournament, but lost in the second round to Georgia Tech, which went on to the Final Four.
A little bit lighter. You got a great Shaq story for us because you got Shaq in the young, skinny, sort of Cajun days. You've got to have your favorite Shaq story.
Man, you know what? I don't know if it's a favorite. I know him and Shaquille Shaq and Stanley got into a fight one time in the basement, and some garbage cans were picked up and thrown at each other.
Wait a minute. So Stanley Roberts against Shaquille O'Neal in a basement at LSU. They're the Twin Towers. They're larger than anything anyone's ever seen, and they're fighting. They're throwing trash cans at each other.
Oh yeah, it was intense.
Number 3, Shaquille O'Neal only had one three-pointer in his entire NBA career. In today's NBA, it's pretty common that bigs can shoot the three. Of course, in the 1990s and the early 2000s, it was a different time, but still once in a while, bigs hit a three. Like Patrick Ewing, Hakeem Olajuwon, it just happened. But in his long NBA career, Shaq only had one three-pointer, and we gotta go way back when he was playing for the Orlando Magic.
Joe Wolf, the inbound, Shaq the catch, he's gonna fire a three!
Three-point contest. First guy to make one.
Yes.
But if Shaq shoots first and makes, Charles will have a chance to match. And then
right. But ladies and gentlemen, we just want you all to know that it is 8 people in the studio. It's 4 for Chuck and 4 for Shaq. Ernie is going with Charles, and I am going with the big fella because he is a clutch performer. Yeah, with the handle, I'm going with it. I'm taking all bids and all bets. Okay. Anybody, see me in my office.
Let's go. Charles, do you have any problem with Shaq shooting first?
I actually think I should go first.
No, you don't go first. I'm going first.
Shaq will be our first shooter because he called it out.
All right, let's go.
Hold that follow through, big fella. Cash rules everything around me. Cash rules everything around me. Cash rules everything around me.
Let's go.
Hold that follow.
Let's go.
Working on it. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Come on.
Let's go. We've been working on it. I told you. Hurry up. I'm going with the big fella. I told you I was going. Oh, Sean, and give it up, baby. Give it up. Oh, give it up.
Wait. I got a victory dance. I got a victory dance.
Victory dance. Victory dance. Victory dance. Victory.
Number 4, Shaq actually fought Kobe. To every true NBA fan, it's common knowledge that Shaq and Kobe didn't get along too well. And Shaq also had a history of not getting along with some of his teammates, even with a Penny Hardaway. But following the Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant feud back in the days, I never thought that there was actually a physical altercation. Thank you, Kobe, for sharing this story with us.
And Shaq sat down and talked before?
No, we would never have the time to do that.
Right.
You know? And
well,
so,
you would have the time, but it gives you an excuse, right?
Gives you a reason to actually do it.
To do it.
Like, you're not going to call me up and, hey, man, let's meet at Starbucks and let's have a chat. I'm like, what? Bro, I got to do, man. I ain't got No.
Did you feel good after that?
Yeah, no, it was awesome.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
It seemed good. It made me feel good. I was like, oh, good. I'm glad these guys are getting along.
Yeah.
You guys, one of the things, you were very candid, and I mean, I thought it was, you talked about a fist fight.
Oh, yeah.
One thing I want to ask.
I was nuts.
Who threw the first punch in that fist fight?
Oh, he did.
He did, yeah.
I couldn't reach him. He was like,
Yeah.
I saw this big fist. I mean, the fist is like literally this big. And during the interview, I pick up his hand. I'm looking at the size of his hand. I'm going, I must have been the craziest 19-year-old in the world to fight this guy, man. But it was just, it just is what it is.
So he threw a punch, like a real punch.
Yeah, he threw a punch. I had to slip it. And I threw one back, and then everybody jumped in and just broke it apart.
I wouldn't have jumped anywhere near that. I mean,
listen.
Number 5, call him Dr. Shaq. No, this is actually not a nickname. This is actually true. Shaquille O'Neal officially should be called Dr. Shaquille O'Neal.
The man known simply as Shaq. For 19 years, Shaquille O'Neal dominated the NBA with his size and even bigger personality. Well, now he has scored a doctorate. And as Randall Pinkston reports, it was a towering accomplishment.
Receiving his doctorate in education from Florida's Barry University, a private Catholic school.
It is my number one accomplishment because I didn't think I could do it at first.
It was typical Shaq, blending the seriousness of pomp and circumstance with the joyful lift of a college official.
You're the doctor, okay? I'm not a doctor.
Not a good one. Better than you, big dummy.
So Steph Curry sprains the medial collateral ligament and is out 2 weeks. It would be reevaluated in 2 weeks. Hassan Whiteside is day to day. Why the difference?
I mean, I don't know the severity of his sprain.
Well, Curry's was mild, so I mean, it can't get any milder than mild.
You know, Miami's saying it's day to day, so maybe it was a light sprain.
Why are you answering this like you're a real doctor?
Yeah, doctor.
Like you're not a real doctor. You're not like a medical doctor.
Listen, you're a lot closer to Dr. Kevorkian than Dr. Welby, just for the record.
Dr. Welby,
answering
old school.
You're answering it like you're a medical doctor, though.
No, I am, because it's all about research. I've done the research.
Oh, you ain't done no research on that. He done on the medical.
Hey, can I talk?
Number 6, Shaquille O'Neal choking out a teammate. Shaquille O'Neal once choked out a teammate who wouldn't pass the ball, so it probably didn't help when Goran Giricek, a 5-year swingman from Croatia, started talking trash to Shaq, according to Hill. So O'Neal choked him out right before the game.
But I mean, Shaq. I remember one time we getting ready to play a big game against Dallas. As a matter of fact, I think it was a TNT game. We're fighting for playoff position, and after the pregame meeting, I go in the bathroom, I come out, and Goran Giricek is laid out on the floor. And like the trainers are like trying to wake him up, Shaq choked him out. Like 18 minutes on the clock, we're getting ready to go out to play, and Shaq like put him in the sleeper hole because he was talking too much. He was talking trash to Shaq. So Shaq,
that's one funny.
He's not here to defend himself, Shaq. But it was like,
bully.
G Hill, I told him don't mess with me, G Hill. I told him.
Is it just me, or does Shaquille O'Neal have like a little violent issue? Well, who knows? Number 7, Shaq didn't want to play with Chris Webber. Back in the year 1993, when the Orlando Magic decided to draft Chris Webber, Shaquille O'Neal was really mad because he wanted to play with Penny Hardaway, not only because he liked Penny, but also because he felt that Chris was a similar type of player, and Shaq didn't want to play with another Shaq.
The first pick in the 1993 NBA draft goes to the Orlando Magic.
The Magic securing the #1 pick in 1993 was the most improbable result in the history of the NBA draft lottery. Orlando finished 41-41 and just missed making the playoffs. But suddenly, general manager Pat Williams was in perfect position to draft Chris Webber, a can't-miss power forward prospect out of the University of Michigan.
If I go play on this team, I'm going to average a triple-double my whole life because I'm going to get 10 boards, and it's going to be so easy getting 10 assists. I'm going to get 10 oops a game.
Everyone knew about this guy, Chris Webber, and what he could do and his big old hands. And we still had Shaquille O'Neal. But as a shooter, I was saying, I have C-Webb on one block, Shaquille O'Neal on another block. I'm going to get so many wide-open shots. This is going to be fun.
I watched him in college, watched him in high school, and it reminded me of myself, -3 inches. He was a big guy, liked to handle, liked to make good passes, and a big guy that liked the ball.
Alright you guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And I would say, see you next time. Peace and out. Hey, are you an old school NBA fan? Well then, our channel, The Basketball Time Machine, is the right channel for you. On our show, we feature NBA players from the 80s, the 90s, and the early 2000s, talking about the good old NBA days. Former NBA players telling their stories of Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Penny Hardaway, Grant Hill, Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, and many, many more. So if you miss old school NBA, just click on our channel, the BTM, The Basketball Time Machine, subscribe to our channel, and let's bring the good old days back.